Fight number 10 this evening will be the Coastal Combat Women's Flyweight title. And introducing first, out of the red corner, we have Beck, the real deal Weall.
Here we go, Josh. We're at our main card of Coastal Combat 5. Beck Weall's about to walk out.
Training out of Whitsundays Martial Arts, Dan Zealand and our commentary partner Anton Zafir. Anton was saying earlier, Beck's had an excellent training camp. Been working on her striking, been working on her takedown defense. She really wants to be the first Coastal Combat Women's Flyweight Champion, so we're expecting big things from her in this fight.
Yeah, well Beck's she's fought for us twice now, and she's coming off a submission of the 9th award on the last show, so she's well-rounded. She's going to add a bit more grappling to her striking up against Kristie, but she's athletic. She's coming in fit. She's definitely looked the part on the scales yesterday.
She's going to have to keep her movement. With Kristie's judo background, you can't afford to stand in front of her. If Kristie gets those hands clasped around her, she's going to throw her all the way around the cage.
Yeah, so she's Anton's left the commentary team, and he's in the corner now, so a man of a few trades.
And now introducing her opponent in the blue corner, Kristie and Ryder.
Kristie Ryder on her way to the cage for this women's flyweight title fight. A BJJ blue belt, but more importantly, a judo Olympian representing Australia at the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. Phenomenal judo.
Exactly. She's an absolute top of the food chain grappler. So it was really good to have her here at Coastal Combat fighting for this belt. She's coming off a win on our last show, so this is going to be an exciting matchup.
Had some success recently. Pam Pax finished 3rd BJJ 2018 Open and was also first in the Queensland State titles, no gi. So very credentialed on the ground once the fight gets there.
Yeah, this is definitely a clash of styles. It could go any way. So we're gonna see in a second, and they're fighting for the first women's belt. So that's a nice looking white belt, white leather belt. We've changed it up and put some pink diamantes in it. So. One of these girls is going to be wearing that home. She's got Ryan Dunstan in the corner. Claire.
So ladies and gentlemen, fight number 10 this evening will be for the vacant Coastal Combat Women's Flyweight title, and it will be contested over 5 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, she weighed in at 56.8 kilos and trains out of Whitsunday Martial Arts, holding an amateur MMA record of 1 win for 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Beck, the real deal Weall. And her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, she weighed in at 56.85 kilos and trains out of Fifth Wave MMA, a member of the 2008 Australian Olympic Judo team and holding an amateur MMA record of 1 win with 0 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Kristie and Ryder.
All right, ladies, we've been over the rules. Make sure you protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. If you want to touch your gloves, do it now. Come out fighting.
When the action begins, your referee in charge, Thomas Churchill.
Ready we go. Women's flyweight title on the line at Coastal Combat 5. Beck Weall versus Kristie and Ryder.
Yes, can't wait.
Well, here we go. The women's flyweight title on the line, and a great matchup here for the first, what will be the first women's champion here on Coastal Combat. My name's Daniel Morsey. I'm joined in the commentary booth with now Joel Zepasvari, the promoter of Coastal Combat. And, of course, we can't forget Josh Warner still talking us through all the action. Josh, one of the voices of martial arts here in Australia. So, Joel, talk to us a little bit about this matchup and why you put it together.
Well, we tried to put this matchup. Oh! Straight away for that judo toss.
Well, interrupting us there was the forward pressure from Kristie Ryder, looking for the hip toss straight into the judo that she's so well known for.
The right hand too. The right hand was perfect setup. Hands clasped. She'll take a ride.
So, of course, speaking to Anton Zafir, the coach of Beck Weall, this is exactly what they're expecting. So, Beck looks like she's remaining pretty calm. They know that this is Kristie's home. So, they drilled throughout training camp these positions. And we'll see if Beck can have any success to try and disengage and maybe keep things standing a little longer.
Yeah, exactly. She would have been here for the last 8 weeks. We actually tried to she's actually done a training camp already for this fight. We tried to put it together in CC4 and Beck was injured, so we're getting to run it back now.
Well, could it happen at a better time, Joel? Both these ladies in the prime of their careers and both looking to try and take home the first women's title here on Coastal Combat.
Yeah, this is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, so the girls have got some time to work here, and they're being patient.
And star-studded corners on both sides. Anton Zafir and Dan Zealand in the corner from Sunday Martial Arts, shouting the instructions at Beck Weall. And in the corner of Miss Kristie Ryder, looks like we've got Ryan Dunstan, Claire Fryer.
Judo
and
throw, hip toss. Massive hip toss.
Looks like she's got an arm there.
And full mount. Armbar coming.
Beautiful transition here, some hammer fists. Beck's got a stack, keep her weight down.
She does not want to hang.
Kristie going belly down.
That's tight, that's tight. Oh, it's over surely. She's fighting it off though, that is real tight.
She's tough. She's using that leg. Got to clear the. If she can clear that leg, Kristie Ryder can adjust her angle and get the finish here.
Really well defended by Beck Weall though.
Up onto the knees now, Beck a little safer in this position, but not out of danger just yet. Wow, what a start to this women's flyweight title. Looks like the elbow now clear for Beck Weall as she escapes the armbar attempt. Well, the first armbar attempt of Kristie Ryder.
Okay, interesting position here to finish the first round. That's good, we've got a fight here.
That's a big first round for Kristie. Although Beck did really well with her back against the cage for a majority of that round, the takedown was eventually succeeded straight into the armbar. So, round one, Kristie for me.
And I think a bit of a moral victory there, though, for Beck Weall. In a deep armbar attempt there, showed some real heart and technique to somehow fight her way out of that.
Yeah, definitely. If I was Anton here, I'd be saying, do not hang around in that armbar position. I wouldn't even worry about punching. I would just stack.
Yeah.
Stack up, lock.
I think Beck would be wise to use her distance as well. She's definitely a rangier fighter out of the two. Keep Kristie in the pocket, pick her apart a little bit on the feet.
So Thomas Churchill now clearing the cage as the ladies are set for round two. Likely scenario on the first 10-9 to Kristie. Let's see if Beck Weall can have more success here in the second stanza.
Good right hand.
Beck seems fresh, using that length, those straight punches.
And always a good idea keeping the punches straight when you're against someone that you know wants to close distance on you.
This is better by Beck, straight away, keeping her in the pocket. Front kick as well.
Beck does have to be careful coming forward in the manner that she is, though. Those judo practitioners love it when they can find someone aggressive to keep coming forward. Really lends to those hip tosses and other judo throws.
The head kick there. These girls have been training for 5 rounds. Both of them look like they've got plenty in the tank. The first round's over, so let's see if we can start implementing game plans.
Yeah, Kristie Ryder always in phenomenal shape, but I tell you what, Beck Weall really impressed me on the scales yesterday at weigh-in. She looked about as shredded as one can be, and she lands a nice jab there.
That's a money punch for Beck, definitely. Oh, on the right hand.
Draws a smirk out of Kristie. So a little surprised we haven't seen Kristie try and close the distance yet in this second round. Halfway through now, a minute and a half remaining. And so far it's been all Beck Weall here in round 2.
She has, and what she's been able to do is get Kristie to start moving unlaterally, so she's only moving back, which is playing right into Beck's hands.
Yeah, she's utilised a couple of body kicks as well. She's going for it again because she's trying to draw Beck in to catch that, and maybe even then she could force a takedown that way. When you've got a good grappling, throwing body kicks is sometimes a good idea.
So just on a minute now remaining here in round 2. Big left hook winging past there, Kristie. So Beck Weall looking sharp on the feet. I think we can really see a big improvement in her stand-up skills from when she fought last on Coastal Combat. I believe it was Coastal Combat 3.
She's cut the cage off really well here too, Beck. Got Kristie pushed back against.
Jab there from Kristie. Snaps the head back of Beck. Oh, nice check hook. So a little more success here down the stretch in round 2 as far as the boxing is concerned for Kristie.
20 seconds.
Oh!
So Beck Weall throwing with conviction. As the 10-second clap goes off in a round that has been the majority of this round has been dominated by Beck Weall. Well, gentlemen, we have a fight on our hands.
We do. And Beck's reasserted their dominance in round 2. Kept the distance, used her range, used the front kick well. The jab was excellent, mixed the right hand in as well, and got through the defences of Kristie on a number of occasions. So definitely earned some respect in round 2.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall here for the corner advice coming from in Kristie Ryder's corner. Of course, we have Claire Fry and Mr. Ryan Dunstan there, just giving us some instructions. I'd assume it would be something along the lines of trying to close that distance and get this fight back on the map, where Kristie's got that big advantage.
One thing I definitely noticed, when Kristie's throwing the right leg kick, Beck's tried to catch it every time. So maybe just mix in a head kick just to see, because that hand's down, bang.
And also Simon Clough in the corner of Kristie Ryder. Shout outs to Simon from Gamebred Academy in Brisbane. So the cage door closes and Thomas Churchill claps us in for round 3.
I'll be looking at a round apiece here.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Joel. Pretty clearly round 1 there for Kristie, and I think Beck was fairly dominant there in the second round. So a tale of 2 fights, really, the first 2 rounds.
Beck started well again in round 3, though.
Just slipping out of that range. The head movements improved from the last show. So definitely some good improvements made from both these girls.
Nice right hand straight down the pipe there from Beck Weall. Kristie Ryder content to move backwards again here at the start of round 3.
Yeah, she's got to cut her angles here. She's just a straight target for Beck to hit right now.
As we see a bit of blood from the nose there of Kristie. Looks like that right hand of Beck Weall starting to do some damage.
She's shrugging it off like it's not hurting. You see a little bit of claret coming from the nose now.
Oh, some big shots landing.
Beck Weall has to be cautious here, though. She doesn't want to kind of commit too much, as that we could see a level change from Kristie here. So she's just kind of patiently stalking 1-2s. She's being smart with this.
And I think, Joel, that's a testament to a great game plan being developed from our coaching staff at Whitsunday's Martial Arts. Big knee there as Kristie's starting to rush for a clinch. This is what I was expecting from Kristie in that last round, her trying to close the distance and get into what is her home, this clinch position, try and work for some trips and maybe look for a submission on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to see another hip toss again.
One overhook though for Beck. Gonna try and work those unders from here.
So inside the final minute now in round number 3, as we see Kristie with some valuable control time.
If Beck can stay standing here, that's a moral victory for her in round 3.
Some calls from the Kristie Ryder corner coming about head position. Kristie not keeping that head in the chin of Beck Weall, which is giving her, there we go. That's a much better position for Kristie. Now she can control the body a little more, but Thomas Churchill getting impatient. Looks like he might be looking to try and break this one up.
I think you've got two different styles here. She's active against the cage.
Nice knee to the leg there from Kristie Ryder. I know you're a big fan of those, Joel.
Yeah, love those knees. That's a tough one.
Taylor, yeah, two fights in that third round there again. Early dominance for Beck, using the jab, the right hand, busted Kristie up a little bit, but then a really good strategic move to close the distance and then clinch quite well against the cage for the remainder of the third round. So that's a tough one to score.
And Beck Weall is just in phenomenal shape. Doesn't even need the stool. She's completely lucid in the corner, having a chat with her cornerman. So 3 rounds in the book, 2 more to go here for the Coastal Combat Women's Flyweight title.
And the fight right up for grabs here as well.
Yeah, so working into the championship rounds now. Beck very animated in the corner, so she's looking fit. I dare say Ryan Dunstan would have been saying some more of that cage control. Look for the takedown.
Absolutely.
So here we go, the championship rounds, as they're commonly referred to as, rounds 4 and 5. And here we go, round 4 underway. The longest fight of both ladies' career.
Beck immediately takes center of the cage again, looking to impose her range. Good head kick.
So a couple of jabs exchanged here. Interesting to see how long it takes Kristie to try and close that distance. Body kick parried there from Beck Weall.
You would think these later rounds is going to be Kristie playing to her strengths, being an Olympic athlete. You know, that she knows what it's like to be a competitor, and you know, these rounds, you know, we should see her lift.
Beck looks in excellent condition though still. She's got a split here though, got a break. Must push off. Muay Thai clinch.
Some cage control of Beck's, back to the center now, dirty boxing.
It's got a break. She can push away here. She can push away, but there we go. That's a massive victory again for Beck Weall.
Just stalking in the center.
Caught, sweeped.
So that lead leg push kick being a pretty common weapon here for Kristie Ryder. She's thrown it a fair few times. Of course, Kristie wants to be all the way out or all the way in this fight. Wants to be out of punching range or right in close in the clinch.
Those fingers are open by Beck Weall. She did get spoken to between first and second for having the hands open. So let's see if she gets a word again.
Oh, good right hands.
So that one looks like it wobbled Kristie a little bit. Maybe some of these shots starting to take their toll. 50 seconds remaining here in the 4th round of this women's title fight.
Goes to the body too, mixing her strikes up.
So glancing head kick there from Beck Weall as Kristie throws a leg kick in return. Inside the final 30 seconds now, and it looks like it's trending as another round in the books for Beck Weall.
Right hand gets through again.
The girls exchanging here after the 10-second clap. And there we have it. An end to round 4.
Big round for Beck Weall in that one for me. Again, dominated the striking exchanges, cut through to the defence. Kristie has got to use those angles. She's just moving laterally right now, only going backwards and forwards. That's allowing Beck to keep that jab in her face. So she's got to cut her angles. Otherwise, we're going to see same again in round 5.
And Beck Weall barely breathing there in the red corner. She is in phenomenal shape here. Hasn't even used the stool once in between rounds. Kristie Ryder taking the stool approach, and looks like a fair bit of urgency in her corner from Claire and Ryan.
She looks tired.
She does look tired, and on my scorecards, likely down 3 rounds to 1.
Bit more conservative at my end. I've got it at 2-2.
So big round, I should say, in the fighting careers of Beck Weall and Kristie Ryder here. The 5th and final round of the Coastal Combat's inaugural women's flyweight title. And here we go. Tom Churchill claps us in.
Straight away again, centre of the cage, pushing Kristie back with that jab.
You see a 5th round for the first time in Coastal Combat.
Yes, true. The stats man here, Joel Zepasvari.
Caught the leg kick. This is a massive moment in the fight right now.
So what can Kristie Ryder get done here?
One underhook on the left-hand side for Beck Weall.
So just over 2
overhook,
minutes remaining in this one. 3-minute rounds here in the amateur division. 5 rounds on hand for our title fights. As we see Beck Weall trying to get away off the fence. Kristie Ryder gets the hip toss, and the crowd erupts. Kristie needs to make this work.
Straight into side control.
So here we go. What she got? She did win her debut fight on Coastal Combat with a TKO from the crucifix position. She has spent a lot of her life learning how to hold people down and inflict damage. Let's see if she can use some of that training here in the 5th and final round of a title fight.
Beck's got to separate here. She's got to get her knees around, kick away and get some distance.
So much heart shown from both women here.
Beck slipped out. She's out the back.
Out. Kristie looking to go straight back to a toss.
What a fight.
She's got to slip her head out the back here. If she can slip her head out, she can take the back of Kristie. Oh, she's trying. The old schoolboy headlock. Pressure on the jaw now.
Beck's dropped her hips, disabling Kristie Ryder from getting her hips underneath her, which is what she wants to get that toss. She's sitting low.
Body position is really good by Beck Weall.
She is so close to sliding out the back here, but Kristie Ryder intelligently turns in. Looks for the knee to the body there.
Wrist control by Kristie still.
Very difficult fight to score. Glad I'm not judging. As the 10-second clap goes here with 10 seconds remaining in the 5th and final round.
Must stay on her feet.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The first ever women's flyweight champion here on Coastal Combat will be crowned shortly.
We go 5 rounds in the women's flyweight title fight. Beck Weall, Kristie Ryder put on an absolute display of mixed martial arts here. It's close. It's very close. We go to the replays now and we'll see. It's really a tale of 2 fights. Beck Weall able to control the center of the cage for a number of rounds. Use that jab. The right hand split open her opponent. And on the counter, Kristie Ryder, she got hold of her opponent, pushed her against the cage, was able to get 2 massive takedowns. Some ground and pound in there as well. It's going to be a very, very difficult fight to call. Either way, in a matter of moments, we will have our first ever women's flyweight champion. Continue with the replays here as we can see. Both fighters think they got it won here. Right at 2-2 after 4 rounds. Definitely 5th round here for Kristie and Ryder. So on my scorecards, maybe Kristie. A couple of rounds were close, so again, just depends what the judges focus on. We await the decision. Crown our first flyweight champion here at Coastal Combat 5.
So ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for the inaugural women's flyweight title fight. Going the full 5 rounds. What a fight between these two ladies. But after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges scored about 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for your winner by unanimous decision and new Coastal Combat Flyweight Champion in the red corner, Beck, the real deal, Weall.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Beck Weall, Coastal Combat's first women's flyweight champion. Unanimous decision, 48-47 on 2 scorecards, 49-46 on the 3rd.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your newly minted Coastal Combat Women's Flyweight Champion. And what a fight it was, going the full 5 rounds. Coming into this fight, we basically knew that you wanted to stay out of that clinch and use your stand-up. And I must say, all of us in the commentary booth were super impressed with the improvements you've made on the feet. Give me a little talk about your camp and how you prepared for the tough matchup in Kristie and Ryder.
Camp was a usual, very difficult 12 weeks. But we were really working on footwork, keeping the distance and not rushing in. And I feel like we did that really well. So
executed the game plan to a T, and I'm sure a lot of crowd support here, so I'm sure there's a lot of people you'd like to thank.
Everyone at the gym, thank you so much for helping me prepare. They're all at home. Hi. Thanks to Anton and Dan, my coaches. My dad who's come in from WA, everyone from the gym who's here tonight, just anyone who's let me take them down, punch them in the face, whinge at them about how tough everything is. Thank you.
Well, it was all worth it now. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for your new women's flyweight champion, Beck, the real deal Weall.